Hey, you guys, Stuart Fiddle on the most targeted citizen. A little scrambled minded right now. Got a lot to talk about, but don't know what to say first. Got a lot on my mind. In this day and age of don't know where to get information from, there are so many choices of bad information. I'm sure there are a lot of people my age that I could probably get news and information from, but I don't feel a connection to any of them. Lately, I started out with Jeremy from the Quartering. He just does little snippets of what else is going on in the political space. And like I said, after God awakened me to the Donald Trump delusion I was under, I deleted all the news. I deleted Fox, deleted the ONN, all. I just deleted it all. And of course, they shove CNN in my face at all times. I can't get it off. I cannot cancel it, block it from my newsfeed. It's always there. So I would dip into the Quartering with Jeremy, and milk toast is what I would consider Jeremy with the Quartering. God bless him for what he does. I'm very vocal online, very vocal. I'll comment and I'll comment and I'll comment, and I hate being silenced more than anything. Well, not more than anything, seeing as I'm terrorized every day, but being silenced really irritates me, especially being silenced by those who talk about freedom, free speech. And I can be harsh. Most of my comments are harsh because I grew up in a time where my dad beat the living crap out of me daily for sport. I grew up when men were men. We'd go outside, and right now you see the outside. Right now, I would be an hour away from home, racing home on my bicycle that I would put 10 miles a day on. I would literally ride from my house all over Hickory, North Carolina, everywhere on my bicycle. Every month to 2 months, I had to put a back tire on my bike because I rode it that much. I've just always been adventurous. I'd go out and just ride. When my mother and father took me out of the country and put me in the city, I was stuck to doing that. I was so adventurous that I would sneak out of my house because I had severe insomnia like I do now, and I'd leave the house. I didn't know even then that I was targeted. I knew nothing about targeting until they murdered my fiance. So I would leave the house 11:30, 12 o'clock, and I would just go. Didn't do anything mischievous. Just I would leave. I'd just take off walking up the street and go to the square downtown Hickory, go ride my bike, go ride skateboards. I mean, just leave. Got caught a couple times, got beat up even worse a couple times, but just that adventurous spirit. I learned to take stuff apart and put stuff back together because I didn't have money. My mom and dad wouldn't let me make any money. We didn't get allowance in my house. My allowance was food, and we got to eat. And if I came home from school and if I ate a sandwich after school, my dad would beat the snot out of me. He would come home and punch and kick me. He would count how much sandwich meat was left in the refrigerator. He was an ass, a very abusive ass. So many nights I went to bed hungry. Many times sitting down at the dinner table, I left the dinner table backwards at the backhand of my father because he beat me for sport. So as I've grown up and got into the social media world, I see so many people, and I can understand why people are diplomatic. We could say diplomatic, where they don't want their opinion to be, or like Jeremy of the Quartering. He will sit there and read news articles 20 different. He'll come on 10, 20 times a day because he's literally printing money. Every time he comes on, he's making $6,000. Boom. 250,000 views or $6,000. Have fun. So he'll take words like sex and he'll change the word sex just to say, thank you so much, YouTube censors. Instead of saying sex, he'll say, being intimate with another. Like the jab he called coronavirus the coof. Or he called the jab, he's got a million milk toast names for the actual thing. I mean, he's running a business. It's his business. He can do what he wants to do, but there's a song that echoes through my brain when I used to go to work with my grandfather in the summertime, helping him lay rock and lay brick when I was 13, 14, and 15, was, you got to stand for something or you'll fall for anything. Got to be your own man, not a puppet on a string. You got to do what's right and uphold your family name. Well, you got to stand for something or you'll fall for anything. So, knowing that, I stand. I stand up for what I believe in, and they'll kick me off, and I'll just come back and start another channel, start over again. I'll lose everything I got, and I'll start over. They're not going to let me make money on YouTube. It's not going to happen. So I kind of moved from Jeremy because then he started talking about the quarter. I used to watch a little bit of Crowder, and I like Steven Crowder. It's too much. It's too much giggling and laughing and making fun he got his start in comedy, but Steven Crowder is Canadian. And there's something about being born in America that changes your entire DNA. Now, Steven Crowder, he attacks the issues head on. He does, but he would still bow to the censors. Now, he got demonetized from YouTube, kicked off so many times, and is actually expelled now from YouTube for speaking out. But it's like they attacked him so much till he finally just said, okay, well, now I'm not going to try to censor myself. And even now I censor myself. So I'm just talking about the extreme cases. Well, when the debacle went down with Steven Crowder and Daily Wire, because listen, Daily Wire is corrupt. I don't care what you say and what you do. Ben Shapiro is controlled from the word jump. He is controlled from the higher-ups. They're all controlled media. He's got billionaires behind him. He's got Rhino agenda behind him. So everybody made a big deal when Steven Crowder, when he was going through the negotiations with Daily Wire. And they're like, well, Daily Wire, Jeremy at Daily Wire is my friend. He's my friend. Yet he's trying to shortchange him on a contract, and Steven Crowder recorded the phone conversation. Listen, you call my phone, it's recorded. You call my phone and you threaten me or whatever you want to say, or I call out, every phone call is being recorded, okay? I've got the app, it's in there, it works great. So everybody jumped, Crowder, and even Mark Dice jumped on his plan, and I was like, well, I see now. And I even went on Mark Dice's page after Mark Dice started downing Crowder, because listen, Mark Dice, he's just the same as Crowder. Or not as Crowder, he's the same as Shapiro. The same. He censors, and he's always on YouTube. His channel doesn't get taken down. He's not demonetized. Mark Dice is on there playing the game like everybody else, while at the same time pretending to be awakened. Well, I exposed the Bilderberg Group 20 years ago. Well, yeah, you did one time, and every once in a while you'll talk about it again, but you're not putting your neck out there. You're still making $500,000. Probably, I'd say Mark Dice is probably making, I haven't looked on, what's that, Shark Blade or Blade Shark or something like that. It's the app that tells you how much these YouTubers make, but Mark Dice is making bank. That ain't even talking about all the books that he's selling. So Mark Dice, and you won't watch a Mark Dice video without the last 10 minutes being him selling his ugly t-shirts and gear. So Mark Dice is making bank, so he jumped on the bandwagon attacking Crowder. How dare you record your friends? I'm telling you, when there are millions and millions like Crowder, millions of dollars involved, you better record your conversation. These business companies, they can't say, well, I'm going to be your friend, and then lowball you on a contract. That ain't friendship. There is no friendship in business. You may want that to be, but that's only in handshake. When it comes down to business, that contract is all that matters. Because you can say, man, you're supposed to be my best friend. You should have just given me the other $20 million because we're buddies. Take that to a boardroom. Take that to a court of law and see how long that lasts for you. It ain't going to work. So everybody bashed Crowder. And they just went after him. Mark Dice jumped on the bandwagon. I went on Mark Dice's page for 3 days. Oh, look at Mark Dice standing up for the Daily Fire. Now Mark Dice has no problem attacking Ben Shapiro. But he kisses Jeremy's ass from the other Jeremy from the Daily Wire. So it's just... It's like they're in the scene from Rocky when he's running up the steps in Pennsylvania, and then they get halfway up it and they stop. I just can't freedom no more. I just can't freedom anymore. It's just too... Oh my God, YouTube censors are behind me. I can't run up them stairs no more. I'm sorry, Susan. Would you wiki? I think she's out now. So they all just bow. It's just like you could go the extra mile and complete it. It's just like everybody, Trump's, Just like with Trump, everybody says, oh, look, he did more than any other politician. Well, he may have, because the other politicians did nothing. But what didn't he do? The first day Trump was in office, you know what he should have done? Fired everyone. Fired the FBI. Have you noticed that he didn't fire anyone from the FBI except James Comey? He didn't even fire the men who were going to remove him from office with the 25th Amendment. He didn't do any of that. He didn't protect our vote. Of course, he had YouTubers come to the White House and he sit there and kiss their ass for 35 minutes to an hour. Oh, YouTubers, you are the voice of America. I'm going to make an executive order to protect your speech. You know how far that went? He was calling them suckers before they walked out the door. And that all it took to buy most of their speech. Mark Dice was kissing his ass, still is kissing Donald Trump's ass. Candace Owens, which she was a left-wing libtard, liberal attack artist before she made the switch. And if she wouldn't have made the switch, she would have faded into oblivion like the rest of the leftard loonies. But she made the switch and got paid by Daily Wire. So there are no true patriots out there standing up willing to fight, willing to lose everything over it. And then you see someone like, I mean, you can, talk about Elon Musk, but see, Elon Musk has FU money. Steven Crowder has FU money. I can't even imagine the amount of money they have, and that'll never be an option for me. But it's not going to bother them. It's just like the guy who wrote the comic book, the comic book Dilbert. He's got FU money. He comes out and just speaks the facts about culture, black culture in America, literally slaughtering white people and Asians, and the whole country's bowing down. It's fake. George Soros said back in 2014 or 2015, he said, we're going to use the black people of America because they're easy to manipulate and we'll have them. And I can only imagine it being like Darth Vader talking about it, or the Emperor. We're going to use them to destroy the whole Rebel Alliance. And that's what they're doing. They've burnt down the country for 6 years now. All these people that aren't willing to go all the way to the top of those stairs. It's sickening. It's sickening that it's so lost. Because the number one thing that they lose me at, and Crowder too, is they get on there and they talk about Judeo-Christian values. And they sit there and make rude jokes, disgusting jokes, sexual jokes. And I'm not just being judgmental, but it's a daily occurrence. You'll see me lose my mouth. Every once in a while, my mouth leaves my control. Okay, I sin. I'm a sinner. That's what I do. But I try to learn from and move forward. But there's no one standing up for my Christian values. None of them. Now, they like to stand on that principle of, yes, I love Jesus, and Jesus and me are tight like this. But if it comes down to it, they're not going to put up a fight for Jesus. They'll put up a fight for their conservative values, but you don't have conservative values without the 10 Commandments in the Bible being the authority of those traditional conservative values. It starts with Judeo-Christian values. So you don't have that without the book. With God behind the book, you don't have any of that. So my news source then kind of moved, and we all get stuck on Tucker because, I quit watching Tucker for a while. I used to watch Hannity, and then I realized Hannity is a blowhard. He's nothing but a rhino machine. He sits there and bloviates every day about how the deep state's going down tomorrow. Every day, and I saw a meme, I think last year after all the Trump debacle and all that crap finally went down, and they showed Hannity on there, and it looked like he was 90, and he was sitting there with his suit and tie, and he's like, and tomorrow the deep state's going to go down, and he was like 90 years old. So, knowing that Tucker is who Tucker is, he's a Californian. He doesn't represent my values. He talks about being a Christian and godly and all this stuff, but he doesn't really show. As I said before, anyone that's willing to stick with the narrative that airplanes take down buildings is a fool. Or they're just corrupted. They're corrupted. So if you're going to say something, you better say what matters. You better speak the truth every single time. And these people aren't willing to do it. Well, that's why they have big houses and big bank accounts and they got these big jobs, because when you do speak out, you will be cut down at the knees. I don't know why I got picked for this targeted program. I don't know why they destroyed my life. I have no idea. Was it because my grandfather was in World War II and then he went AWOL and they experimented on him? Was it because my other grandfather was a Purple Heart veteran? I don't know. I don't know how I got put on this list, but they have systematically destroyed my life. I moved from Tucker to, not really moved, but I pick up Tucker every once in a while and watch what he's got to say when he's got something important to say. Then I kind of drifted into Tim Pool through the Quartering's eyes, and then Tim Pool is, what's funny is, and this is what you need to remember if you're a Christian out there, is Tim Pool is not a Christian. He's not a conservative either. The left has driven him so far that not driven him, the left has driven itself so far left that anyone else looks tame compared to those radicals. Just a regular gay person doesn't look radical anymore compared to what the left is doing. I mean, even the right, they worship Dave Rubin. Dave Rubin is a homosexual. Okay? Him and his husband are raising a little adopted child. That ain't right in my Bible says it's wrong. There's like 8 different scriptures in the Bible that condemns homosexuality. It just does. Sorry, you don't like it, you don't have to like it. That's just the facts of the matter. God burnt down Sodom and Gomorrah. You can go there today, see the pillar of salt from Lot's wife, and you can see the sulfur balls where the buildings stood. They were so demonic that the people of Sodom and Gomorrah, the raving rapists in that town, were trying to break in the door to rape the 2 angels. They were trying to rape the angels that were there that night that came to warn Lot. They were there to rape him and kill him. That's evil. So Tim Pool is just, he hasn't been driven right. They have just left him behind. So he's, and again, let me tell you, I can tell a stark difference in not just mental IQ, but that of values as well. Tim Pool is, listen, he makes $500,000 a month with his TV empire, and he got started with Vice News. He is left-wing. It doesn't matter how many people seem to be on our side. If they're not Christian, if they're not born-again Christians, they're still going to burn in hell. Now, we can get what we need from these people and make our own opinion, but even with Tim Pool, and he's got one of his co-hosts, his name is Ethan, or Ian, I don't know Ian's last name, but he's pretty much the hippie of the 2000s. He is just as naive as they can be. They're sitting there showing the January 6th stuff that I showed you last night, and talking about how the Q shaman got shafted. Oh, he got shafted. They ought to release him from jail. And Ian's like, well, isn't that illegal that they didn't give him all that for discovery? And Tim looked at him and said, they're evil. Well, I don't know if they're evil. And Tim looks at Ian and he says, well, Ian, name one Democrat in the White House, in government right now. Name one that's not corrupt. Name one that's not evil. And Ian goes, my mom's a Democrat. Are you kidding me? It's the naivete of this person, Ian. And listen, he's a sweet kid. He's almost 40, if not 40, and he doesn't see the evil in front of us. Are there that many people walking around that can't spot evil? It should be so apparent to you that when you look on TV and you see someone evil, you should feel it in your spirit. You should say, "Oh man, that person creeps me out." Well, these people should creep you out. So, hearing people like Tim Pool finally called out because he's like, oh man, I would throw a drag party here. Well, I don't mind drag people. They can come hang out and skate with us. I like drag people. Not like this, not like that. Listen, you're up against evil. You can't say, well, you know what? I want to pick the guy that only killed 13 people. Not the guy that killed 25. The guy that killed 13, I think that's going to be the one I team up with. No, sorry, you can't do that. It's either all or nothing, right or wrong, good and evil. God wants a perfect church. He wants to take a perfect church home with him. Am I perfect? No. But the Bible says there's not one good man that ever walked the earth except God himself. Not one good man. And that comforted me today because, like I said, I'm ashamed of me losing my temper the other day and ashamed. And if you sin and you don't feel a hitch in your step and you don't feel a little disgust in your gut, then you don't have the Holy Spirit leading your way. So all these people that you think are on your side, they're not. If they're not speaking about Jesus on their broadcast, they're not speaking. And I don't talk as much about Jesus as I should, but and it's not because people say, you know what, I'm here for the drama, but I don't want to hear that Jesus stuff. And I've had people tell me that I don't want to hear that Jesus stuff. Well, I'm sorry, he's part of my life. He's the biggest part of my life, but I fail him daily. So I'll bring it on home with the targeted community, because oh my God, what a bunch of poor people that have been so victimized. There's this one that's been commenting on my channel for 3 or 4 years, and I'll tell you one thing, it's like once a month that a targeted person either misappropriates something I said, something I did, or they'll think a video disappears. Somebody right now that's in my comment section, I won't even give you their name, you'll see it in the last video I made, sitting there attacking me about, you were talking about painting the suspension on your truck and doing all this, and I was doing that an hour before you came and made that video. I was doing that, and when I went to comment about it, you didn't even respond, and then you deleted your video because I was working on my truck an hour before you were. And I'm thinking, what? Yeah, you're doing that to me, and I'm gonna fight you. And I'm like, well, okay, come on. I mean, I ain't fought in a while. It's natural. I'm good at fighting. I'm older now. It's probably going to hurt a lot more, but it's going to hurt you too. But this person literally thinks I'm trolling them, and I don't even know what the person looks like. I don't even know their real name. All I know, the dude's lived in a truck for the last 9 years and is happy to brag about living in his truck. And the same person tells me every day, comments on my channel, yeah, you need to leave that home, dude. You need to move out and get in your truck and be homeless too. I'm thinking, boy, I'm telling you one thing. If I've got an option to live in a freaking home with TV and a shower and a goddamn refrigerator, I'm going to live there. I'll put up with all the goddamn crap in the world I have to if I got a roof over my head. Wow, Cole, you need to be homeless, dude. You need to be homeless like me. And then go to the extent of saying that I deleted the video of the things I was doing because he was doing an hour before I did it. Yet the video's still there. The video's still there. And people with the comment section. Oh yeah, by the way, there's the drone. You see it through the trees? Can you see it? Let me see if I can get it in through. There it is. You see it right there, that tree? Wind's blowing. Right there. That's the drone right there. See how low in the sky it is? Yeah, that's the drone. Anyway, and then there's the other one. Let me see if I can get that one. I don't even want to show up. But yeah, if you haven't realized about the comment section yet, I don't control the comment section. I don't control it. I've commented sometimes to people 10 different times and it keeps deleting my comment. Or they'll make a comment and it'll just disappear. I don't control my channel. I don't control my channel. I don't control it. I have no control over my channel. None. It's insanity that I have to keep telling people this and they just don't understand. And that's why I'm just this targeted individual community. I love you and I'm praying for you and I can't do anything else for you. I can't help you. You're spun. You're ruined. I'll tell you the word, you're ruined. I just can't imagine walking around every day and thinking that everybody on the planet's out to get me, because not everybody's out to get me. The federal government set me up, and the people that should love me don't. But it ain't every single person on this planet wants me dead. I just can't imagine saying, you know what? I was brushing my teeth an hour before you made a video about you brushing your teeth. I know you're in on it, and I'm thinking, boy, that's one large leap for mankind. Anyway, I don't know where I went with that, but it's crazy. If you're going to beat my ass. And even the person said, I'm not even in North Carolina. He said, you're not even in North Carolina. I think you live in Florida. I can't stand Florida. And I'm right here in Longview. I'm sure the Longview Police Department would love to chime in. They won't, but they probably got a secret account that they chime in. I'll find that information. But I'm 3 blocks from the Longview Police Department. I mean, I'm literally, I tell you every day I'm trying to escape here. But no, you're not there. People are telling me where I'm at that have never met me. That's strange. Anyway, if you guys want to go live tonight, let me know. I won't have anything to do tonight, and I'll probably be up till 3 o'clock in the morning because I can't sleep when my shoulder is absolutely trashed. I got a voicemail. Longview Police Department called me yesterday morning, I guess, in response to my video, and I haven't looked at it yet. I'm trying to build up to it because, as I said, my PTSD is the worst of me. So I'll look at it, and I'll respond accordingly if I should respond. So we'll see if they reached out to tell me they're going to handle the situation I'm having. Then God bless them. That's what they're supposed to do, and I'll bring the news to you if I find it appropriate. I don't tell you everything that's going on in my life. There's I have a love-hate relationship with a lot of people. A lot of people hate me. They love to hate me. A lot of people, well, we don't hate you. We're just very concerned. Well, the man that tells you what's on his mind all the time is not really the one you should worry about. It's the ones who are quiet that aren't telling you anything. That's what spooked them. The last time is when I went quiet. It scared all of them. They're like, oh my God, he went quiet. He's not posting anymore. Let's ride by his house and see what he's doing. Is the truck there? Is the car there? Oh my God, we got to do something. I'm just over it. I'm tired of YouTube. I'm tired of it. It is the biggest waste of my time. It's the biggest waste of my reputation. I have soiled my reputation going on YouTube, trying to help people, trying to be honest and tell people how my life is. And I rarely ever get a compliment. Man, you did that right. You did that good. It's like I'm the most hated man in the world. I understand I'm not easy to like, but if you knew me, you know that 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, you need me. I'm the one you want to call. God bless.